Just make it work. Oh, maybe
I just realized.
Oh, good.
Hello, there you are.
Okay.
Hello.
Hey.
We can see you, but
Yes.
you're on mute.
Oh.
Oh.
Hi. Sorry,
Hello.
I'm just starting to get logged on. Yes.
I'm sorry if you were waiting. I realized I was looking at the participants and you guys were just down the list where I couldn't see.
Oh, gotcha.
I was like, where are they? You were probably there.
It's good to see you, Kathleen.
Hello.
Yeah,
Oh my
how are your
gosh, It's been
kids?
so long. You wouldn't recognize my girls. They're all grown up.
I know. I was just telling Shannon, I was like, oh, are they? They're driving and stuff.
They're driving. I've got one a junior in college now, and my youngest is about ready to graduate from high school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
It goes by so fast.
Yeah, it's just crazy. And still, the best art I have is hanging on the wall is from the time they were at Stratford in summer.
I know. That was, yeah. No, but yeah, because the girls really were with us over the summers, right?
We were, yes, yeah. We did the summer camp at Los Gatos, and then also Palo Alto.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, college and graduating.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah. Everyone's getting bigger, older, and cuter, and then I just get older, so I haven't. Life is just not fair.
Yeah, Shanna's baby just turned 5 today. Her baby
Oh my
turns
God.
5 today.
that's my fast.
Mhm.
It does. People will tell you it goes by quickly, and it truly does.
True.
Okay, so let's see.
I can. Yep, we're just all over here. I don't know where my.
I'll hit record at like 5:59 or so. Do I need to make them a co-host, or they're not sharing any screen?
It doesn't hurt, I guess, if like
I guess we're not really doing
participants. It's probably
sunflowers, so
all
I can kind of put these
usually
out.
will it mute the co-host? I think it will.
It does. It mutes all of us. That's what I ran into. The other day I just popped it open because I realized I had control and I saw where people's microphone was on and I just like started quietly shutting people off. I was clicking and then they would adjust, and then all of a sudden it's clicking mute.
I don't think so, because I think I'm really just going to do.
I will spotlight their video once after you've introduced them. I'll spotlight the video.
Are we expecting a lot of people tonight, or?
So we have some in the waiting room. It's been around 50 to 80 people, so somewhere around there, maybe more. We'll see. But we didn't ask everyone to RSVP this round. We just left it open and gave everyone the Zoom. I just sent out a reminder about 15 minutes ago.
Oh, excellent.
So.
Yeah, and then really our lesson is going to be about 20 minutes, just recapping. I'm going to show our students really how to draw the butterfly, or the butterfly, sorry. Just do the butterfly with the adults. The ladybug, or the lady beetle, right? Because they're not really bugs, they're beetles. And then just, that's really it. So,
That's great.
yeah, I think
And
we're going
maybe
to
at
have a
the
lot of
end,
fun.
everyone can show their artwork, because that's so fun for them. See
To see
everybody
your
what
artwork.
they've done.
Yeah, that sounds good. And then the parents will be there, so we'll just walk really step by step, and hopefully some of the parents will participate too and have their own scratch paper, next to them. It's always fun to have, especially at that pre-K age where they look up and see mommy or daddy doing the same project. They're like, oh, we're doing it together. So, a lot of fun.
Great.
Yeah. All right, so I think I'm all set. Mm-hmm. Now I get my water. I was going to try to do the white eye, but you see the two different ones? I was going to draw it really big. Yeah. First. Mm-hmm. Maybe I should get a little bit of genius on. Mm-hmm. So I would say look butterfly. This is Gina and Shanna. No, no, this is Gina and Shanna. We're just having time.
I think she's gonna
Introduce
she's gonna
us and-
introduce us first. I totally forgot to send her a video. It I was like, oh, do safety, and I remembered last night, so I sent her. It's basically our standard working. So
Oh, did you send it to her?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know how much she's gonna read off of it. So, no, so I don't know. Maybe she won't. Maybe she's just gonna go into it. I don't know. But
I guess you could work either portrait or landscape. Maybe I'll do just do one big one. And then I was just almost going to do just like a greenish blue in the background. Or just
maybe a blue, because then it'll be a little different from the green.
Okay. And then just maybe a light blue to dark blue.
I like this little sketch.
Mm. And then I did it twice. So I think the red I was going to have, I'm actually going to color it all in red first and black on top.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that works with colors. It should. The black should go on top of red. Because it didn't work very well the other way. See all the black? It kept seeing it. After I colored it in, I did the black stops first. So I did want to look and see.
So for the eyes, you're just gonna draw around them.
Well, I was going to do, so what I did initially is I did the circle, and then I'm just going to do the circle, and I was going to do white for the eyes, and then just draw around it.
I mean, because like if they cram the white over the black part, it won't work.
Mm-mm. No, so do it first.
Yeah.
And then draw the black one. But I wasn't going to do these. I was just going to keep that black. So I only have 20 minutes.
Yeah, just draw the fucking
Yeah. But look at how different they are. I described it this way. So
Well,
different.
when I was printing them out, there were some that had like 30 spots, and there were some yellow ones, and there were some, there were so many different grades. So I just kind of found the cutest, simplest,
I'm going to look at it too. So we can almost have 80 people.
Awesome.
Wait, I'll just say a little prayer that
that.
this goes really well. I've got a palette on my head.
Oh yeah.
This
In the
goes
background.
really well. Lots of people sign up.
And then it's like really action
Oh.
because I wrote so I went to buy them and I kept tossing something and seeing that I can like 3.
Wow, we have 23 in the waiting room
Oh
already.
Wow. Yay.
They're popping in.
So exciting.
And it's Shanna, right?
Oh, I actually, I need to, it's so, I'm Miss Jean.
Yeah, I'm Shanna. This is Jean. Yeah.
I'm Miss
I remember you, Jean. I used to be the principal at San Jose back in the day. Long
That's what I was
time
like,
ago.
oh, yeah, hi, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Good, good. That was a while ago. Now where are you at?
Oh,
Yes. Now where are you at? I missed that.
I'm in the home office or part of the education team.
Oh, great, great. Do you miss
Yeah.
being on campus with all the kids?
I do. I miss
Yeah.
the kids and the families, but it's been a while that I've been in the home office
Yeah.
and a little bit more flexible and some larger strategic projects, which I enjoy. But
Oh, good. Yay. Well, congratulations on the move, to the home office.
yeah, and now we won't even be in the home office anymore, so everyone's pretty much remote. So
Are they closing the home office or just kind of more
we're
remote?
moving and just downsizing a little bit the space. So it's moving from Saratoga to Campbell area.
Oh, that's so. I always pass by the Saratoga home office. I always think of Ben as I'm driving down Saratoga. I'm like, oh, there's, because when we in the day, we don't have to go there, once every other month or times. Yeah.
I personally think they're downsizing just so I will get rid of my stuff.
Oh.
I cleaned out my cube in record time. I just want you to know. I don't need this. I don't need this.
Okay, I'm gonna start letting people
Okay.
in.
Okay.
Hey everyone, welcome. See lots of little faces. Everyone popping in. We'll give us a minute to get started. All right, I see a lot of you have your supplies ready. That's great. We're gonna have a nice time. All right. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce our special guest for this evening. Are you ready? Okay. So hello Stratford families. Welcome to Artsy Thursday during our week of Young Child Celebration. A few notes before we get started. We are recording this event. In order for everyone to hear Ms. Jean and Ms. Shanna, please keep yourself on mute unless we ask you or request that you don't. Lastly, for the most optimal viewing experience, we do recommend that you put your Zoom in speaker view so you can see. At Stratford, we celebrate the importance of art and creative expression in the classroom every day. We know that art helps children develop their imagination, creativity, social skills, and fine motor skills. The act of working with their hands and engaging in art not only brings joy and satisfaction, but it also helps children to reason and make choices that can boost their overall self-confidence and build critical self-awareness. We're really excited to welcome Ms. Jean and Ms. Shanna from Hidden Talent Art Studio here in San Jose. Hidden Talent has been a wonderful Stratford partner through our after-school club, and our students have always loved working with them. Jean and Shanna have over 16 years experience of teaching art to children at school locations, art studios, and nonprofits. They both have their BFAs from Bay Area universities. Both are early childhood certified, so it's perfect that they're here with Week of the Young Child. And at Hidden Talent Studio is currently hosting online art classes for preschool through adult students. And you can visit their website to learn more at Hidden Talent Studio, hiddentalentartstudio.com. That will let them take it away, and we're very excited and eager to see what they have in store for us, and that we can all go ahead and join along as we do this art together.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Allison. I really appreciate that. Welcome, everybody. We are so excited to be here and teach you a project today. So we are going to work on a ladybug on a leaf, and I thought I would walk you through some step-by-step art today. So the very first creative decision as an artist you get to make is which way your paper goes. So as you're sitting there in front of your paper, you get to choose either landscape, which is more wide this way, or you could choose portrait. So this is your first creative decision. So artists, go ahead and choose which way you want your paper to go. I think today for me, I'm going to choose landscape. So mine's going to be a lot wider. All right. So I thought we would draw something that maybe everybody has seen before, which is a ladybug or a lady beetle. And let's go ahead and look in our box of either, you might have crayons or oil pastels, and see if you can find a nice bright red. So we're going to look for a nice bright red in our box. And we're going to basically start with the shape of the ladybug, the whole outer shape, which for me is a nice oval. If you can see this big shape here. So in your paper, you get to decide where you want to put it and how large you want to make it. And I would suggest making it about larger than an orange, just so that we can get all those details on there. So I'm going to start by just drawing almost like a rainbow shape. I'm going to start with making this oval. And then I'm going to come down and kind of finish it with a smile. So I get like this rainbow shape and then kind of finishing with a smile. So I got a pretty big ladybug in my picture because I'm going to get lots of good details. So I've got this nice oval start. And what I want to do next is I want to be able to get the head in there. So right now I'm just going to take a moment and I'm just going to draw just a little bit of a line. I'm going to cut right here. Just going to draw like I'm drawing a letter C. So right inside my ladybug, I'm going to draw a letter C. And this part as the whole body. So I'm going to take a moment to really color in the whole body. I'm going to save this portion up here for the head. And as I'm using my oil pastel or crayon, I'm going to try to make sure that all that white in that paper is really covered up. So I'm going back and forth, kind of pressing a little hard so that I get this nice solid red. All right. So I feel like I've got this beautiful red for my body, and now I'm going to make sure that my oil pastel or my crayon is put back in my box, because I always like to have them in the one spot. And I'm going to look for my black. So the next color that I see on my ladybug is the black for the head and all the spots. So I noticed that the head is actually divided into two parts. And it might be a little hard to see in the picture, so I kind of got this 3D ladybug right here. And you can see that you've got this upper part and a smaller round part here. So we're going to do it into two sections. So we've got our black, and I'm just going to go ahead and trace that line that I initially did with red. And I'm going to trace that line that I did, that I made that letter C. So do you see I have like this little crescent moon in there? And I'm just going to go ahead and take a moment and color that in nice and solid. So I'm starting to get that bottom portion of the head in there. And now I want to add the tiny little circle that comes out. And that's where I see the two little eyes are in the antenna. So to me, it looks like a little small C right in the tip. So I'm going to come out and just draw this tiny little half circle. Now while I'm there, I do notice that the eyes are white. And sometimes it's hard to draw white on top of another color. So I'm going to take my black, I'm going to put it down, and I'm going to look in my box to see if I have a white. And if you don't have a white, you can actually use the white of your paper. But I do have a white, so I'm going to use that. And I'm just going to take a moment to get a circle in one side for the eye on one side of that shape, and another circle for the other eye. Now, it might be a little hard to see the white on my paper, but I know you could see it at home on yours. And then I'm going to take my black, and this is where I just want to color in the rest of the head black, but I want to keep those eyes nice and white. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to trace that circle, and trace, and then start to just color in right where the nose would be, that little section in the middle. At this part, I can add the two little antennae I see, and they just kind of poke out right from where the eyes are. And they're kind of short, and you can see it in the picture here. And I'm just going to have some fun by adding those little antennas out. Now, ladybugs have 6 feet, and this one is a little long. I don't think the feet are actually that long because they go right underneath the body like here. So on here, we really don't see but just like a little section of the feet coming out. So you might just see a little dot, 3 little lines on one side, 3 little tiny lines where the tops of the feet are coming on the other. Very tiny. Now this is where we get to decorate our ladybug, and we get to add the spots. So if we look at our examples, you know, the spots, some of them are smaller, some of them are larger, some of them have more spots than others. So we get to be very creative, and your ladybug, you get to decide how many spots you want. So for me, I think I'm going to start with one big spot here, and I just drew right on top of the body of the ladybug, and then I'm going to take my oil pastel or crayon and start to color in that spot. Now, does this spot have to be a perfect circle? No, look at, they're very organic, and they're kind of circles, but they're not the same exact shape. So maybe this one over here might be a little smaller. And maybe on my ladybug, I'm going to have another one right here. It's off to the side. So for me, I kind of, my favorite number is 5. So I'm feeling like my ladybug's going to have my favorite number, 5 spots. But Yours can have whatever number you want. All right, so for my ladybug, I always like to take a moment after I've drawn and just hold it up for a second, get a different angle. Because sometimes when we're working like this, we only see one perspective. So after we've drawn our ladybug, take a moment, hold it up at arm's length, and just look at it and see like, oh, is there any things that you want to change or add? And I feel like I want this spot just to be a little bit bigger. I feel like this spot could be a little bigger. All right. So I'm really happy with my ladybug. And now I get to think, where should my ladybug live? Well, I thought it would be really nice to have a ladybug in a beautiful patch of green leaves, or maybe we can even add a little bit of petals in the background. So I have a variety of green in my bin, and for me, I always like to start with the lighter color because I can always go darker later. So I'm going to look and see if I've got a light green in my bin of box, and I do, and I'm going to start to add the ladybug on my leaf. Well, if I have this beautiful leaf right here, and if you think about the size of the leaf and the ladybug, well, it's going to be pretty small on that leaf, right? So when you're drawing your leaf, you might want to start on one side, and I'm going to draw a pretty big leaf. So it might come up just like a rainbow. So it's going to be over my ladybug like a rainbow, getting that one side. Kind of like how you see here. So I'm drawing this one side, this beautiful shape. And then when I come in, I'm going to come down. And let's see if I can, if this is a light green, can you guys see my light green? Is it really, really light? I'm going to darken it up in just a second. But I'm going to come back and I'm going to fold it in this way, and I'm going to connect right here. So I've got this beautiful big shape right here. Oops, there we go. And after I get this shape in there, I then get to decide, now I want to start to color it in. So I feel right now this light green is a good start to shade some of that in. I'm going to start to take a moment to get it right up to my ladybug. And this is where I want to take a second. So I don't want to go on top of my ladybug because I don't want my colors to smear. But I'm going to go right up to it. And this is where we're going to work on our fine motor skills. And just kind of go nice and slow as you work your way around. Now I know that leaves are not just one shade of green. We have multiple shades. So I'm just getting that first layer down. And I'm not too worried about making it all the same pressure because I want to show a little bit of highlight and shadow. So right now we have just one color. So I'm going to go ahead and take maybe my darker green, and now I can start to add some details. Yes.
It's Anissa. We have one parent who's just asking if we can slow down a little bit.
Oh, for sure. Yes. And if for sure. And if you're just catching up, I just want to just kind of review what we did for our ladybug. So we just started with this beautiful oval here, getting that nice oval shape in, and then we're going to add all the details. So now that I'm working on my leaf, I'm going to start to add another shade of green. So hopefully you have two shades in your box, and if you don't, another color would be a blue would work really well for shading. So I want to make that leaf pop out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by just tracing the outside of my leaf, kind of making it stand out a little bit more. And then I want to come in with some more detail. When I look at my leaf, I do notice that there's some beautiful veins down the middle. and I see this line, and usually that's how the water, gets all the food gets to all part of the leaf. So I'm going to draw that. I'm going to start with this beautiful line down the middle, and I'm going to bump into my ladybug. But I don't want to draw on top of them. I want to bump into my ladybug and jump over. So I bump into my ladybug, I jump over, and I continue that line down the middle. Now I've got that beautiful line that's going to down the middle of my leaf, and now I can add maybe some smaller lines off to the side. So just looking at our leaf, I kind of see that it branches out almost like a tree, right? How beautiful is that? And this is where we get to be creative. So we're going to have the line that's going to come off to the side. And am I going to draw on top of my ladybug? Nope. Anytime I bump into my ladybug, I'm just going to bump and jump over. Bump and jump over. So as I'm going, I'm going to bump into that antenna and jump over. So I know that middle line is there, but I'm not going to draw on top of my ladybug. I'm just going to continue these lines above and out. And then I can continue the lines on this side, above and out. All right, so I have 2 shades of green here. We can even have some fun by just getting a little bit darker inside some of the sections. You don't have to color all of it. And then sometimes depending on your color, like if you use a light green or a dark green, I also like to think of yellows. Yellows are a great highlight. So I could take a little bit of yellow, and in some of the area where maybe I left some white of that leaf, I can come in and I can add a little bit of a highlight of yellow. Now this is where we get to take a moment and look at our picture again, because we had just drawn the leaf. So I'm going to hold it up at arm's length because I want to get a different perspective. I'm going to hold it up and I'm going to look at it, and then I'm just going to see, oh, do I need to change anything or add anything? I feel like I want to see a few more veins coming out my leaf. So I'm going to add a few more little veins coming in. I feel like it could add a little bit more detail. So hopefully everybody is having a great time working on their ladybug and leaf, getting in all that beautiful green color for our background. And then I do want to take a few minutes to also color in our background with some watercolor. I love the way watercolor and oil pastel work well together. Just want to see how we are. Oh, look I see that some of our friends are showing us some beautiful artwork. We love to see these. Okay, here we go. Yay.
Beautiful. It's amazing.
I see some of us have really taken advantage of the 2 tones of green, and it really makes that ladybug pop. Now, I do just want to take a second, and I did choose this for a reason, but I just have this little handy dandy color wheel here. And I do want to notice that we used opposite of the color wheel. So we used a red ladybug with a green background. And opposite of the color wheel complement each other. They're complementary colors, so they really are looking great. Loving it. All right, so please take another moment or 2 to finish all of your oil pastel. So if there's any little areas that you forgot to color, take a moment to go ahead and add that. If there's another part of a leaf that you want to see, if there's only like maybe 1 leaf, maybe you see another section of another leaf, you could add that. But I do want us to put all of our oil pastels away. Well, actually, after we sign our name. I forgot about signing our name. It is very important as an artist. We always want to put our name on our artwork. And this is where I just want to take a second to think about where we put our name. Now we have spent the last 20 minutes working on this beautiful ladybug and detail. So maybe artists sometimes want to hide their name off to the side. They may not want to draw on the object they just drew. So for me, I'm going to use maybe the green color that I already had, and I'm going to write my name off to the side, Miss Jeannie. And I do like to write the year on my artwork for the year 2021. That way that later on, maybe 10 years down the road, I want to know when I drew this ladybug. All right.
Question.
Yes, what is your question?
Can we use our favorite color?
Oh, what a great idea. For sure. Definitely you could use your favorite color to color in your name. And that's what makes it so unique for your artwork. All right. I love that question. Thank you for asking. Okay, so I feel like my oil pastel is done. So as the artist, I want to make sure that my oil pastels or crayons are put aside. And now I'm going to work on my next medium, which is the watercolor. Some of you may have a watercolor palette that is just not as big, and that's okay. We're really going to use some blues and maybe a little bit of green, but mainly blues to in the background. So with watercolor, you don't need a lot, and you do have options. If you have a bigger brush, like a flat brush or a round brush, either one will work just fine. Either one of these brushes will work. So I'm going to use the round brush, and what I want to do is I want to look at my colors, and I want to use this blue. I'm going to get some water into my brush, onto the palette, into this paint well. And this is where I just take a moment to test my color. I'm going to put some of that paint into my mixing well, which is the lid. And if it's... Oh, does someone have a question?
Yes.
Yes.
Can we write our name on top of our leaf? So like our names on the leaf.
Oh, very good question. I like that. Yes, I mean, that is a very creative decision, and you could definitely do that. And then if you were to write it on the leaf, would you be able to put it in a spot where it would be kind of hidden, so it's kind of blended in? Or think about how you'd want to write that. That's a great idea. All right, so now I want to add, so for this color here, so I'm just putting it right here. So this is just mixing it straight from the tube. But it's probably pretty dark, so we could test it by going to your paper towel and just seeing how dark it is, and look at how dark it is.
Is it okay if we can make the ladybug however we want?
Oh, the ladybug, like the color however you want?
Mm-hmm.
For sure, yes. And actually, when we were looking up ladybugs, we've seen ladybugs from yellow to orange to red, but we could really use our imagination today. That's what's so great about art. We could really get creative. Now, I don't really want to add white to this. I'm just going to add water. So I got just water on my brush, and I'm just adding it to this paint well. And guess what? I'm going to test it on my paper towel. And it's that much lighter. So with watercolor, it's water that makes the color lighter, not white. Okay, so now I'm going to take this color that I mixed. I might have to mix some more though. So I'm going to put a little bit more in there. And I want to use, the sun is coming in, thank you. And I want to use
How do we get creative?
Oh, how do you get creative? By experimenting. By experimenting with these colors and practicing, mixing your colors, and thinking about what you could draw. And that's how we get creative. Yeah. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to paint my background. And I actually just went right over my name. Look at what I did. I went right over my name with the blue paint, and I want you guys to see. I'm going to zoom in and look at, you guys can still see my name. And you want to know why? Because oil and water do not mix. And so the oil pastel is on the paper, and the water over will make it show up. It will still be there. It's great. So this is really a beautiful material to work with oil pastel, because watch, I could get right up to my leaf, and look at, I'm getting that blue on my leaf. And did my leaf change colors? I'm going right on my leaf. Do you see that? Did it change blue? No, because oil and water don't mix, and I can go right on top.
Why do you
what?
have those little rectangles to try it out?
Ooh, yes. I wonder who was the first person to try that oil and water don't mix. Ooh, that's a great question. I do not know. I'm going to have to look that up. I love that. But it was probably an experiment, right? Somebody getting maybe super creative in the kitchen or with their paints, or I just think that's how we come up with new ideas, right?
Or
Testing
maybe
it out.
with their markers or crayons.
Maybe with their markers or crayons. All right, so I'm going to take a moment to really fill in the background, and I want to get just some nice blue background. I'm going to go right out to my edges, and I'm not really putting a ton of water on my paper, just enough to kind of color all the white. And I'm going back and forth, and if you notice when I'm painting, I'm using my strokes in the same way, just all the way over my painting. Okay. Now, I want to take a moment, because as I'm finishing, to hold
Why
it up.
do we use paintbrushes to paint?
When do we what?
Why do we use paintbrushes to paint?
Ooh, that's a really great question, too, because we would want to use a tool to paint so we wouldn't get our hands so messy. So this is a great tool to help me move the paint from this location onto this location. So this works really well. And they have different sizes too, which I want you to experiment with the different sizes, right? I use the bigger one to cover in a bigger area, but maybe if I was using a smaller one, it would cover a smaller area better. So I just realized with the daylight savings time, we have a really strong light coming in, so I hope you all can still see the picture. I'm going to zoom in a little bit.
Big and medium.
Yes. Oh, you have a medium brush. Oh, amazing. Now, it looks like a lot of you are finishing with your watercolor part in the background. I would love if to be able to see some of these artwork as you guys are finishing here.
Look, I don't know how to build some of the leaves because I'm not in this class.
Oh, okay. Did you, I could draw another leaf if you missed part of that leaf, for sure.
I tried my best to make my leaf, but I don't really know how to make a leaf.
Oh, well, the great thing about leaves, though, I bet you already did it because leaves come in all different shapes and sizes. And in fact, hold on a second. I have some right here from, what is this? This looks like a daisy. So check out this leaf. It is completely different than this leaf here that's nice and long. So we've got very long leaves, we've got shorter leaves, thicker leaves, smaller leaves. So really, I bet you how you drew your leaf worked out well.
When we're gonna do things.
Yes. I'm going to show you just for those that missed, because I did hear the question on how do you draw that leaf again.
There's also very sharp leaves.
There's very sharp leaves too. Ones that are pointy, ones that have lots of different shapes on it. So the easiest way to draw a leaf is to draw a rainbow first. So I'm going to start with like this beautiful rainbow, and I'm just drawing a simple leaf. Oh, let me do it with not bright green. Let me do it with a dark green so you can really see it. So I've got this beautiful rainbow. And then what I'm going to do to finish my leaf is make a smile. So I'm going to come down at one point. I'm going to make a nice smile.
You have to mute.
So that's how I drew just the simplest leaf. So I did hope that answered your question for the one who needed help drawing the leaf. All right, look at this artwork. Oh, wow, I see some of my friends are picking up their artwork and showing us. Thank you so much. Oh, look at all this detail. I see Zion's beautiful detail here. We've got Kira's working on her background, Clara. Oh, wow.
Why the ladybugs have the spots?
Ooh, that is a good question. And I was looking it up, and the different species have different spots. I think some of them had 9, some of them had 5, some of them even have 0 spots. Did you know that? I did not know that. I looked that up just now.
My dad was had ladybugs and I had some, so I've seen all sorts of spots.
Yes, that's so cool. Look, thank you so much for showing me your artwork. I've seen a lot here.
Can I show mine?
If you
Yes,
want, we
please
can
show.
have everybody show their picture, even wherever you're at. If you're still painting, that's okay. If you want to hold your picture up, we'll take a look.
Would love to see it. Yes. So cute.
See some. Here we go.
Look at these. Oh, wow.
Why not reading yourself?
Beautiful. These
Okay.
are gorgeous. These turn out so nice.
Well, I'm really loving how large everybody created their ladybug and leaf. That you guys did a really good following.
I'm seeing some beautiful details. You guys really got the nice veins in all the leaves.
I'm to the leaf. I don't know if another leaf.
Yes. Oh, yes. You can add another leaf in there too. I ran out of time, but yes, you could definitely add more leaves to your picture, for sure.
When our paint dries, can we add a stem too?
Ooh, yes, and that is the best question, Wyatt. Yes, when your paint dries, that is the key word, when it's dry. Because right now, when paper's wet and you were to put the oil pastel on it, it could tear. So definitely when it's dry. Yes.
Well, thank you so much. It's getting close. I'm sure everyone's getting ready for dinner time here, but we want to thank Miss Jean and Miss Anna again for joining us. Such fun to bring art, and hopefully many of you can finish if you're still painting it, and share your pictures in with us. They were beautiful. So lots of great detail and following along. So thanks for joining us for our Artsy Thursday. Tomorrow's Family Friday, so we hope that you can enjoy the time doing something you love together and making it very special. We're really honored, Stratford, to be a part of your educational journey and here to support your child and their growth and development. So thank you. It's been a fun week, a week of the young child. Our guests.
Thank you so much for having us. We just had so much fun being able to teach, and just seeing this beautiful artwork.
So much fun. Thank you guys for
Good
doing us.
job, friends. Love your ladybugs. Nice work.
You're good
Look
at
at these.
painting.
Yay!
Like your lady.
You're good at painting.
Yes, you are really good at painting. I see that.
Miss Lena, I don't have paint, so I don't like.
Oh.
Miss Lena, Miss Lena. What do they have?
I heard if you don't have paint, you can also use the oil pastel easily for your background.
Everybody.
Thank you so much. All right. Blended at 6:32. I thought that the lesson was only 20 minutes, so it was supposed to be 6:20.
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta, they're four.
Yeah,
They
so
did
I
really well.
yeah, finished. That's why. Why were you telling me to slow down? I was like,
Well, yeah,
"What?"
because I saw the comment come up on the bottom.
Oh, good, 'cause
and then I was like, yeah, and
That
you
was
were
smart.
just talking very fast. I was like,
Well, I was nervous too.
I know.
Could you
You
tell?
did really well, though. I mean, no, there was very few ums. There was very no, I think you did really well.
Okay.
So.
Oh, yeah, 'cause
And I
you're-
felt like the samples were because there was two requests to slow down. I was like, oh shit,
am I going too far?
and I was like, maybe just ask how how's everyone doing? Take a little
I was
pause.
like,
You're like,
oh.
okay, now we're gonna do the lead. Okay, now we're gonna do this.
Because I'm slow.
Oh my god! But I feel like when they were all showing it, I was like, oh, okay.
They all got it.
They got it.
They
did
got it.
such a
Okay,
great job.
good. So it's just those two that had
the
to take
stupid
pause.
sun. Oh my gosh.
So right at that time, that sun is
Oh
right
my
at that
God.
time,
It's
of course.
because it's daylight savings. I mean, we haven't had
And so we have to move back further, I think, almost.
yeah,
where we
or
have to do.
This might work.
This
We
might
could
work.
test it
Okay.
out, but,
Oh my gosh! Okay, I'm glad you got a picture too, because we just taught four rows. How many people were that? I forgot to
There's
check.
like
So
there
how,
was probably like 20. It was probably 80 people.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. So we could totally do, because 300 is 50 each class, 3 classes, 2 classes a day. Yay. Okay, so
look,
4 times 5, that's 20. 20,
And there's
40, 60,
4
80. Yeah! We could do 80 preschool kids.
kids and nobody talks.
And nobody
It was
talks.
great. Yeah. You could totally do it. And I like how they said, so I think if we went to our website, to send up our website, that they didn't say anything like that. So they probably were like, oh, they're probably busy. And I think they just, they did their own little thing. No, what they said was great. So, I think they probably already had it and used their own thing. And I was like, oh, this is great. What they sent.
Oh, okay, because we forgot to. Can we send them an email right now? Just
Oh,
real quick
we should
and
send
just
them an
say,
invoice. I told him I would send them an invoice, so I know. It's like, oh,
Okay, should we do it?
it'll
Are you
take like
sending it-
2 seconds.